This next fight, I'm super excited about this fight as well. So this next fight, this is Gavin Tucker. This is Gavin the Governor Tucker versus Justin Guitar Hero Jaynes. Justin Jaynes made his UFC debut a couple months ago. And in this UFC debut, he comes in on short notice. And he comes out just ready to fire. The bell goes off, and he comes forward, just starts throwing crazy punches. And, he was able to knock his dude out. And that I was super excited about watching that. Just the way that he fights is super action-packed, super fast-paced, and it's proven over and over again by lots of first-round finishes. Mm-hmm. But, Gavin Tucker's no slouch.
Gavin Tucker's a beast, dude.
Yeah.
So again, another fight that was so hard to pick.
Yeah.
Like, these guys, man, the UFC made it really, really hard on Vegas for this card, I think.
Yeah.
Because this one is just hard one
They wanted
to
to take care of the fans, right?
So
Gavin Tucker, he's Canadian. He's 11-1. He's 34 years old. He's 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he's 2-1 in the UFC. He's coming off of a submission win in late 2019. And then he also has a decision win over Sam Cecilia in his UFC debut. Justin Jaynes, like we said, he's 1-0 in the UFC with that knockout. He's an American. He's 16-4, and he's currently on a 5-fight win streak, all of them coming by first-round knockouts, or first-round finish. Sorry, there's been some submissions in there as well. What do you think about these guys?
like I said, it's going to be a hard fight to pick. Every single one of these fights so far have just been ridiculously difficult. For me, you said Tucker, he's fighting for the 4th time in the UFC. He's a BJJ black belt too.
Yep.
He has some really solid striking though, so he's really well-rounded.
I like the way he strikes. I think that he's the more technical of the two strikers.
He is. He's very technical.
Yeah, he has really good, exciting strikes.
Powerful.
And this is what made this fight like super hard for me to pick. I think I actually changed my mind probably more on this fight than any other fight. And what's funny about this, so you got the Guitar Hero and Justin Jaynes versus Gavin Tucker, who is a guitar enthusiast himself.
Yeah.
He's a blues musician, and he had a ton of like really good guitars, and Gavin Tucker was selling those guitars to help pay for his training for MMA, so he could do MMA.
That's an interesting tidbit you found there.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Just given the fact that Justin Jaynes, a Guitar Hero guy, it's kind of funny how I don't know if that played into making the fight or anything, but I just thought it was interesting how Guitar Hero, guitar enthusiast, they put them together in a fight. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Just little fun facts out there, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, overall, like you said, Gavin Tucker is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with great striking. He's also the former Extreme Cage Combat 145-pound champion. Mm-hmm. So he's pretty experienced, and he looks really good. But Justin Jaynes, so Justin Jaynes, while he's just new to the UFC, he's got a lot of other stuff to his record. So he's the former WXC 155-pound champion, former WXC catchweight champion, that's at 150 pounds. Former Total Warrior Combat 155-pound champion. He did fight in Bellator and the World Series of Fighting. And he wrestled in college at 165 pounds. Mm-hmm. So, this is going to be an interesting fight. I'm really excited about this one overall.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be fun, man. So, I mean, we've already talked a little bit about Gavin Tucker.
Yeah.
You just got into Justin Jaynes, man. For me, I think everybody saw what Jaynes did in his UFC debut on short notice.
Yes.
I think Gavin Tucker is fully aware of that. I think Jaynes is going to want to stand and bang. He wants to brawl.
Yeah.
Even though he's a wrestler. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to see
Look
Gavin.
at what he's been doing. He's been knocking everybody out, right?
So I think that Gavin Tucker going into this fight, their game plan is likely to avoid that power.
Yeah.
So I think Tucker's going to be the wrestler here, which means I think that they're going to negate that first. So Jaynes has 3 knockouts in the first round right now. He's got a knockout streak of 3 straight knockout finishes in the first round.
His last 5 fights are all first round finishes.
Well, the one is a disqualification because of fence grabbing.
From a fence grab. But, he had the one submission one outside of that as well. Mm-hmm. So, but even then, it doesn't matter if it's because they grabbed the cage or whatever. It's a first round finish on the record.
Yeah.
First round finish. He was beating somebody so badly they were embarrassed. They grabbed onto a cage and held onto it so bad that they had to disqualify him. Like, how crazy is that? Have you ever heard of somebody actually being disqualified for grabbing the cage?
Right.
Like, that's
You get
crazy.
the point deductions and stuff, but
Yeah.
Jesus.
But what do you think as far as actually? I'll tell you who I got right here. So I'm going with Justin Jaynes again. I'm going with Justin Jaynes, another first round knockout. I like what he's doing. He's in your face, and for some reason, when he puts hands on people, like, it hurts.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was the most technical striker, but he seems to find the target and he seems to hit it.
He does.
And he seems to put people away. And I think it's only going to take one punch for him to stumble Tucker enough for him to put 3 or 4 more powerful shots in there. So I'm going with the first round knockout again. So I'm going with Justin Jaynes again just because I feel like he has that one-touch punch.
But in 12 fights, Tucker's never been finished.
Never.
So there is to put that on there, and he
Never.
He did fight Sam Cecilia, who used to have pretty heavy hands back in the day. For me, I think Tucker's going to ruin his first round knockout streak that he's got going.
We'll see what happens.
Because I think it's gonna be a grappling match for the better part of the first round and a half, till they start getting some energy wasted there, and in the midway through the second round, I think you're gonna see it turn into more of a stand-up fight there. And I think right around the first minute and a half of the third round, you're gonna see Justin Jaynes get another knockout.
So we both got Justin Jaynes by knockout. We just have different rounds.
Different rounds.
All right. Well, we can deal with that. Oh, you know what it might